How you doing there, folks? Baters here with another video for you all. Today we're gonna dig deep into one of Fallout 76's newest creatures, the Wendigo. Now that is one ugly fucker right there. Either that's a Wendigo, or it's a really malnourished pregnant goblin. It also kinda looks like a crack-addicted ET. You know, the kind of ET that'd blow the government for more crack? Anyways, good news though. We're gonna look at everything from what the Wendigo is to the folklore that made it a prominent figure in Fallout 76. And most importantly, what it's like in the game. So go ahead and glitter up those nipples, and let's get to average baiting, baby! Now, the Wendigo is a mysterious creature in Algonquin folklore. The Wendigo is a mythical man-eating monster, or evil spirit, native to the northern forests of the Atlantic coast and Great Lakes region of the United States and Canada. I can vouch for this because I'm from Canada, and I'm also pretty sure I saw a Wendigo walking out of the movie theater the other night. That, or it was just a regular human person. I can't be sure, it was really dark out. Either way, I hit it with my car and drove off, because I'm not taking any chances. Now, there are two ways in which people are said to become a Wendigo. The first is to commit an act of cannibalism, which leaves the human susceptible to possession by the evil Wendigo spirit. Now, the spirit of the Wendigo would apparently drive a possessed person mad with cravings for human flesh. Now, the second way is through plastic surgery. It's called the Wendigo procedure, and it's pretty risky. I'm just kidding. The second method is also a result of people eating. Who would have thunk it? But rather than being possessed, the cannibal is physically transformed into a beast. The presence of a physical creature is actually more popular in modern lore and is the commonly accepted representation of a Wendigo. Now, Wendigos are cursed to feel an unending hunger, so it's basically like being on a low-carb diet. Apparently, no matter how much they consume, they are constantly on the brink of starvation and hunting for their next meal. Now, we do have an idea of what the Wendigo looks like in Fallout 76, but what did it look like according to its urban legend, you might be pondering in your brain face? Well, the Wendigo could appear as a monster with some human characteristics, or as a spirit who has possessed a human being and made them become monstrous. It is historically associated with murder, insatiable greed, and people eating, obviously. Even monstrous Wendigos tend to bear some features of their original human form. They are usually described as extremely tall, thin or gaunt, and humanoid, often bearing a striking resemblance to zombies or humans who just really let themselves go, you know? After high school, things just kinda took a dive. However, it is here where the legends diverge, as different Algonquin tribes have different variations. Most agree that the Wendigos have knife-like fangs and long tongues. Their eyes can glow ominously like a predatory cat's, or be unnaturally pale and corpse-like. Some have sallow, yellowing skin. Some are decaying like the flesh of a corpse, or some are covered in matted hair, much like that of a werewolf. Their skin is usually stretched tight over prominent bones, a physical manifestation of their unending hunger. Now, Wendigos can be depicted on a scale ranging from decaying, elongated human to a toothy bipedal stag zombie. They are often showed with gnarled antlers and a skull-like face. If you picture something along the lines of an antlered zombie werewolf, you're probably on the right track. Again, sources vary, but a Wendigo can stand anywhere between 6 and 15 feet tall. And I don't know about you guys, but a 15-foot pregnant goblin scares the shit out of me. Now, some modern iterations of the Wendigo claim that they have the ability to mimic human voices. Wendigos are said to grow in power as they age, and some very old ones are able to take on human form to lure in their prey. So be wary of those you meet in the forest. Which I feel should be kinda self-explanatory, okay? If for some reason some random forest-dwelling psycho pops out of the shrubs and asks you to come check out his super safe cave, maybe don't do that. Just a thought, cause you'll get stabbed in the fucking face, and it'll eat you. Now, the folklore behind the Wendigo describes it as part of a traditional belief system of a number of Algonquin-speaking people. Although descriptions can vary somewhat, common to all these cultures is the view that the Wendigo is a malevolent, cannibalistic, supernatural being, and I'll bet you dollars to cents that it would fart in a busy elevator and blame it on a shy little old lady. That sick, twisted fucker. Now, Basil Johnston, an Ojibwe teacher and scholar from Ontario, describes the Wendigo as gaunt to the point of emaciation. Its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones, with its bones pushing out against its skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody, unclean, and suffering from suppurations of the flesh. The Wendigo gave off a strange and eerie odor of decay, decomposition of death, and corruption. I mean, I'm horny just thinking about it. Better put a ring on it, am I right, fellas? Am I right? Fuck yeah! Got me a trophy wife over here, guys. Now, in other folklore, Wendigos are often described as giants that are many times larger than human beings, a characteristic absent from some myths. Probably because it's really hard to hammer the giant thing home, you know? Now, apparently, whenever a Wendigo ate another person, it would grow in proportion to the meal it had just eaten, so it could never be full. Now, to me, it might have been better to just say the Wendigo has the shits. Anytime they eat, they just shit their pants really hard, you know? Making them hungry all over again. Now, I could definitely get behind a shitting monster, but a growing monster? I mean, that's kind of a tough sell, right? Either way, Wendigos are portrayed as simultaneously gluttonous and extremely thin due to starvation. The Wendigo is seen as the embodiment of gluttony, greed, excess, and how not to style your hair. Never satisfied after killing and consuming one person, they are constantly searching for new victims, as you would if human meat gave you the shits. In some other traditions, humans overpowered by greed could turn into Wendigos. The myth thus served as a method of encouraging cooperation and moderation. Unless you like eating people, then the whole sharing is caring thing goes right out the fucking window. Also, the legend of the Wendigo lends its name to the controversial modern medical term Wendigo psychosis, described by psychiatrists as a culture bond syndrome with symptoms such as an intense craving for human flesh and fear of becoming a cannibal. Now, I can honestly say, I've never been afraid of becoming a cannibal. I am, however, afraid of being chased by a cannibal or cannibals, okay? I feel like diplomacy really wouldn't work that well when you're dealing with cannibals dousing you in hot sauce. Guys, seriously. I got 20 bucks in a really rare Pokemon on my phone right now. It's all yours if you just untie me, okay? We'll let bygones be bygones here. Now, one of the most famous cases of Wendigo psychosis reported involved a Plains Cree trapper from Alberta named Swift Runner. During the winter of 1878, Swift Runner and his family were starving and his eldest son died. Now, there is no documentation that the family then ate the eldest son, but it is strongly suggested they may have. However, they were only located 25 miles away from emergency food supplies at the Hudson Bay Company's post. Now, a few days later, Swift Runner butchered and ate his wife and his 5 remaining children. Given that he resorted to cannibalism so near to food supplies, and that he killed and consumed the remains of all those present, it was revealed that Swift Runner was fucking insane! Oh, and he may also have had Wendigo psychosis. He eventually confessed and was executed by authorities in Fort Saskatchewan. When asked why he did it, he said his wife and kids ate the last of his Cool Ranch potato chips. So he ate them like Cool Ranch potato chips. Too soon? Ah, man, that's super gross. I mean, that guy was crazy on so many levels, but the real question in my mind, why didn't the rest of his family just bail out? I mean, when Swift was licking his lips and covering the chubby one in barbecue sauce, you'd think that'd raise some red flags. Be like, alright kids, looks like daddy's got murder in his eyes. Go ahead and go get your coats. Looks like we're staying at my mom's. It's too late for Billy. It's too late for Billy. Don't worry about Billy. It's too late for Billy. Another well-known case involving Wendigo psychosis was that of Jack Fiddler, an OG Cree chief and medicine man known for his powers at defeating the Wendigos. In some cases, this entailed him killing people with Wendigo psychosis. As a result, in 1907, Fiddler and his brother Joseph were arrested by the Canadian authorities for homicide. As they killed people they suspected could even become Wendigos in the future. So if they see someone who looked like they might eat people, then they'd shoot that person right in the fucking face. BAM! Right in the face. So when they were caught, Jack committed suicide. I'm assuming it's because he knew some of the people that they killed were definitely not Wendigos. Like, for instance, the guy who cut him off in traffic, probably not a Wendigo. Killed him anyways, though. Killed him dead. Turn him without signaling, huh? Not on my watch, Wendigo! Not on my watch. But his brother Joseph was tried and sentenced to life in prison. He ultimately was granted a pardon, but died 3 days later in jail before receiving the news of his pardon. Bummer. Bummer sandwich. So therefore, there are actually 3 types of Wendigos according to folklore and modern psychology. There's the Wendigo that looks like a monster of some sort, but used to be human. It transformed because it was addicted to the other white meat, delicious humans. Through consuming people, it transformed physically to become more powerful, but also double bag ugly. I mean, fucking seriously. Now, the second variant is a person who is possessed by an evil spirit called the Wendigo, which drives them to want to nibble on Homo sapiens for sustenance. Now, this variant doesn't change physically, so it still appears human on the outside. However, it very much is not human on the inside. Now, the third type is just a crazy person who loves the taste of humans. I mean, they're just like real people suffering from mental disorders, except that their mental disorder makes them want to eat other people with fava beans. Now, the creators of Fallout 76 clearly wanted to depict the Wendigo as a monster or a creature, so they went the physical altercation route. The Wendigo in Fallout 76 is a creature that appears to be something that was once human. However, through radiation and cannibalism, it has definitely changed. Now, I'm not talking a new haircut kind of change. No. I'm talking dry humping a ring in a dark cave for over a century kind of change. You know? Till Frodo comes along and smacks that crusty sock right out of its hand and takes it on an adventure. Now, the Wendigo in Fallout 76 is a fast, mythological predator that's extremely aggressive. It will attack relentlessly on sight and does so with a heightened set of abilities. It's strong, fast, and ruthless by design. It apparently only has one real weakness, which is to beat it unconscious with a small group of people and then have one person repeatedly kick it directly in the asshole. It does not like that shit. No, sir, it does not. The Wendigo in Fallout 76 resembles a gaunt, emaciated humanoid with ashy gray skin. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's got long, bony arms, a pot belly, and a skull-like face topped with scant strands of long, stringy hair. They also have large claws on the tips of each of their fingers. Needless to say, if you rolled over in the morning and saw this thing sleeping next to you with ruby red lipstick smeared across its face, you might start to rethink some of your life choices. Yeah. Now, they exhibit similar characteristics to ghouls, like radiation resistance, for example. However, they do not engage in combat with ghouls when they're near. This may also support that the Wendigos in Fallout 76 are also a byproduct of radiation, in that they are amicable towards ghouls who are also mutated humans. Now, Wendigos in Fallout 76 are fast and can deal a large amount of damage in a very short amount of time. Basically, they'll just bitch slap the shit out of you if you get too close to them with their creepy long ET-like fingers. Now, if they do get close, they can be hard to hit without VATS if you're using a firearm, because they will dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, just like an insane Patches O'Houlihan. Needless to say, you're gonna have your hands full with this skanky little wood-dwelling psycho. I mean, it'll come at you like you're 6 months behind on your child support payments. It's no joke, man. It's fucking no joke. Few creatures, real or imagined, terrify West Virginians quite like the Wendigo, possessing alarming speed, razor-sharp claws, and an insatiable hunger for raw flesh. It truly is the stuff of nightmares. I mean, I once told a 6-year-old there was a Wendigo under his bed, just before I turned out the lights, shut the door, and yelled, "Good luck!" Long story short, the kid shit the bed, and I'm no longer allowed to babysit children. Oh, lesson learned. Lesson learned. Now, there are multiple variants of the Wendigo in Fallout 76. That's right, there's more than one of these lady killers just bouncing around the world space. Now there's the normal Wendigo. This is the normal super skinny man goblin, you know? He's just your plain Jane Wendigo. He's still terrifyingly ugly, but in terms of Wendigos, he's like a 6 on the psycho scale, I guess, okay? Then there's the ravenous Wendigo. Now this variant is what some people would call a crazy fucker. I mean, he'll bite your knees, he'll bite your thighs. Hell, if you're not careful, he'll bite you right in the ball bag, okay? This Wendigo's savage as fuck. He doesn't give a shit. And he's definitely a bit more dangerous than the normal Wendigo. Then there's the disease Wendigo. Now this Wendigo's lips are covered in just one big herpy, and it will blow you for a pack of cigarettes or half a Klondike bar. Needless to say, you're always going to want to wear protection when dealing with the disease Wendigo, as this is one of the stronger variants. Then there's the scorched Wendigo. Now this Wendigo may have been absent during Fire Safety Week, that or just forgot its SPF 1000 when it crawled out of its creepy goblin hole on a sunny day. Either way, it's what we would call a crispy creature. And it's super strong and aggressive, so you're not going to want to make eye contact. Don't walk in its general direction. And for the love of tits, do not fuck its wife, okay? That's a no-no, right? That will really set it off. There's just no telling what it would do if you did that. Then there's also the glowing Wendigo. Now, this unlucky fucker is radioactive, okay? He likely licked one too many batteries, or his dad stood too close to a microwave when he was jerking off. Either way, this Wendigo is tough as nails, and it will do radiation damage as well. So it might be a good idea to run away when you see this light bulb barreling towards you, okay? Fucking take off. Now, the Wendigos can be found in multiple areas across Appalachia. From the Wendigo Cave, where you're sure to find one of these people-eating sons of bitches, to a Hawk's Refuge, and even the Garahan Estate. But there is a chance to see Wendigos all over the world space as well. One second, you'll be molesting a blackberry bush to get some fruits inside your body, and the next second, out'll pop one of these goblins just man-slapping the shit out of you, you know? I mean, the Wendigos are very fast, so running really isn't an option. You see, when confronting a Wendigo, it's not about being quick, people, okay? It's just about being quicker than the people you're standing next to. Once it gets a hold of one of the slow ones, okay, you actually have a window there where you can just make your way to safety. You probably don't even need to run. You just walk briskly to safety at that point. I mean, it's gonna take him a minute, you know, to kill that other guy. Now, the Wendigo is one of the biggest threats in Appalachia. It's a human-irradiated cannibal that will stop at nothing to serve its hunger. It goes without saying the Wendigo is one of the most fascinating creatures in Fallout 76. One riddled with folklore and well captured in the game. I myself am both frightened and excited to encounter more of this creature in Fallout 76. Thanks again for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to bitch slap that subscribe button like it's 3 weeks behind on your rent. Bitch! Where's the money, bitch? Where's the money? Where is it? Also, go ahead and hit that bell icon too, because apparently YouTube thought there should be extra steps. Why not, right?
I'd like to subscribe, but first I have to click this and do this. Oh, it needs an email. All right, and this. Okay, fuck. Just tell me when he's uploading. Fuck!
Once you do all that, if you're lucky, at the stroke of midnight, a tiny little Averagebaters fairy might come and tickle your butthole. Now, I hope to see you all again next time, and remember to keep on average baiting, baby.